Welcome to our video on the 10 best tips for traveling to Kyoto in Japan. Kyoto is a city rich in history and culture, making it a must-visit destination in Japan. To help you make the most of your trip, we've put together these tips. Let's get started. Tip number 1. Plan your trip in advance. The first tip is to plan your trip to Kyoto in advance. This will help you make the most of your time and avoid any last-minute rush or confusion. Make sure you have a rough itinerary, including the places you want to visit, the things you want to do, and the restaurants you want to try. This will also help you make the most of your budget by avoiding unnecessary expenses. Tip number 2. Learn some basic Japanese phrases. The second tip is to learn some basic Japanese phrases. While many people in Kyoto speak English, knowing some basic Japanese phrases will help you communicate better with the locals and make your trip more enjoyable. For example, Arigatou gozaimasu means thank you very much, and sumimasen means excuse me or I'm sorry. Tip number 3. Try the local food. The third tip is to try the local food. Kyoto is known for its delicious cuisine, including traditional Japanese dishes like sushi, ramen, and tempura, as well as local specialties like kaiseki, which is a multi-course meal consisting of small, beautifully presented dishes. One of the best places to try local food is Nishiki Market, which is a long shopping street that is lined with food stalls and restaurants. Tip number 4. Dress appropriately. The fourth tip is to dress appropriately. Kyoto is a conservative city, so it's important to dress modestly and respectfully, especially when visiting temples or shrines. This means avoiding shorts, low-cut tops, and revealing clothing, and opting for comfortable and breathable clothing that covers your shoulders and knees. Tip number 5. Take advantage of public transportation. The fifth tip is to take advantage of public transportation. Kyoto has an extensive public transportation system that includes buses, trains, and subways, which makes it easy to get around the city. You can also purchase a one-day pass or a multi-day pass, which can save you money if you're planning to use public transportation frequently. Tip number 6. Visit the temples and shrines early in the morning. The sixth tip is to visit the temples and shrines early in the morning. Many of Kyoto's famous temples and shrines, such as Kiyomizudera and Fushimi Inari Taisha, can get very crowded during the day, especially during peak season. Visiting these places early in the morning can help you avoid the crowds and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere. It's also a good idea to check the opening hours of the temples and shrines before you go, as some of them close early in the evening. Tip number 7. Take a guided tour. The seventh tip is to take a guided tour. If you're not familiar with Kyoto, taking a guided tour can be a great way to learn about the city's history and culture and discover hidden gems that you might not find on your own. There are many different tours available, including walking tours, bike tours, and bus tours. One of the best places to find guided tours is at the Kyoto Tourist Information Center, where you can book tours and get helpful advice from the staff. Tip number 8. Experience a traditional tea ceremony. The 8th tip is to experience a traditional tea ceremony. Tea ceremony, or seido in Japanese, is an important part of Japanese culture, and experiencing it in Kyoto is a must. There are many places in Kyoto where you can experience a traditional tea ceremony, including tea houses, temples, and gardens. The tea ceremony is not just about drinking tea, it's also a meditative experience that emphasizes harmony, respect, and tranquility. Tip number 9. Explore the city on foot. The 9th tip is to explore the city on foot. While public transportation is convenient, exploring Kyoto on foot allows you to discover hidden gems and experience the city's charm and beauty up close. Walking is also a great way to get some exercise and burn off some calories after all the delicious food you've been eating. Tip number 10. respect local customs and etiquette. And finally, the 10th tip is to respect local customs and etiquette. Kyoto is a city that's steeped in tradition, and it's important to be respectful of local customs and etiquette. For example, it's customary to bow when greeting someone, and to take off your shoes when entering a temple or shrine. It's also important to be mindful of noise levels and to avoid littering or smoking in public places. And that's it for our video on the 10 best tips for traveling to Kyoto in Japan. We hope you found these tips helpful and that they'll make your trip to Kyoto more enjoyable and memorable. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more travel tips and videos. Thanks for watching.